Alright guys, before we move on, I want to explain some things that I probably have forgot about. And since my account is, when I started the day one guide, it actually aged over 7 days. So normally what newer players should have is actually the prereq rewards, which ended up making them taking Lapland from there. Okay, so I didn't explain, and I might have to cut the part off of my original recording because it's been hectic going around and doing a lot of stuff, so I might need to re-record this for the front part, but the clears are gonna be staying there. Okay, the point is, I kind of forgot to mention that newer player accounts, they actually have the selector recruitment vouchers they can use to take Lapland from there. And what I did is, I technically, on the days that I haven't been making the day 4 guides, I do constantly log on and log off just to get my consecutive logins on, so I don't miss the day 7 reward of me picking Lapland. And hence that's why you haven't been seeing me posting videos. But in a sense, I kind of neglected one fact, whereas newer players can actually get Lapland on day 1 and along with the E2 ticket. So I've been making all those clear guides forgetting about that fact, and then I just emphasized as or maybe I just didn't get it or some other reasons. But apparently newer players can still get it, as proven by my viewers. Thankfully they did help me out in Discord, so shout out to them. But yeah, I kind of want to correct myself a bit, but that is for day 7. For day 4, since I waited 3 extra days just to get Lapland, I will show you everything is fine. Just keep doing the things that I've been doing and put your Elite 2 ticket on Lapland. It's gonna be the same. Hence, and that's probably the main reason why you haven't been seeing me on for a while, so I'm sorry about that. But going on from here on out, there will be consecutive videos coming out. Hopefully I can post as much as possible before X2 Altered comes out, and that way it will be more helpful to you guys on the pooling currency, and hopefully you guys can clear more stages before the event arrives. But yeah, that's all for the opening. I'll let myself continue later on for the talking when it comes to clearing stages, so I'm just gonna skip straight towards the stage clearings. You guys already know the drill. I might need to cut the entire opening off because I was being dumb. And yeah, I'm just gonna go straight to the stage where most people will face like mini boss, or whatever you know, like you know the drill. We're gonna go to those red stages, and yeah, see you guys there. Alright, and welcome back to stage 3-3. This is gonna be your first mini boss stage here, so make sure to get rid of Crown Slayer first, because you do not want to end up dealing with her long time or long term. And of course, if you want, you can go ahead and borrow support here, and make sure to have friends added so you can have like powerful supports that have a clear stage. So of course you can go ahead and borrow like a Whistler or something that will make the stage easier, but of course I'm not gonna be doing that, since to be honest it's not like really a requirement for you to always borrow broken operators. If you want to challenge yourself, then by all means then go ahead. But for this particular stage, we're just gonna have like snipers here, and we're gonna take Cruise Altar here. I will be talking about welfare later, so let's go ahead and go into the stage first. Okay, first thing you come in here, you're gonna notice there's gonna be a new enemy that is called Tactical Scout, and they reveal the bushes here, so ranged enemies can target you. It'll disable the special passive for these bushes. Now in this case, normally what you want to do is just go ahead and kill off one of them. Do kill the one on right side first, and then you can have your cruise facing downwards here. Keep in mind, this is Cruise Altar. Okay, you can go ahead and borrow from someone that has it, or of course I'll be talking about Cruise Altar later. Now once you have this guy dead, place your Midnight here facing upwards. Activate Cruise skill. Now Crown Slayer is almost dead, so don't worry about Crown Slayer. You will go ahead here, and then Cruise should probably be able to kill. If not, then that's okay, it's just a little damage. Now place your Perfumer here. Okay, now place your Mountain here facing downwards. Now you will want to have your Lapland here as well, behind Midnight. And my Mountain can't survive as much damage yet because of course he is still a bit under level when it comes to like these enemies. So make sure if you think he can't survive, you need to get a healer. And if he dies, then just, you know, it's okay. We're just gonna have Beagle here just blocking it. Okay, now the next few things you're gonna deal with is gonna be in fact having a bunch of drones popping up. So you can just place your cruise here. And you can have April here facing upwards. Or whatever sniper you have instead of April. Alright, and welcome to the next boss stage. Okay, so this is right after 3-3, so you're gonna be greeted with Centurion boss. So this is him right here, and he's pretty straightforward. He just stops here for a moment and then just goes straight into the blue box. Now, this is where I require you guys to have like at least 2 snipers, because you're gonna position them in the 2 bushes right here, left and right. This is 2 is the best ideal spot for the snipers to go ahead and do some damage. Now, of course, if you don't have the most of the snipers that help you out here, like let's say if Cruise is actually enough as an E1 for 3-star, but if you don't have your 5-star or 4-star at Elite 1 for your sniper, then again go ahead, borrow another sniper from here. And of course I'm just gonna keep borrowing Cruise here. Alright, now as soon as stage starters, there's gonna be these melee dudes that come out. Of course, go ahead and put your Vanguard down first. You're gonna need a bit of DP. And when you can, place Cruise for extra damage. That way your courier won't die. And if you have a chance, place your heal immediately. You need him to survive a bit for the DP. Okay, now as for this situation, just put your Mountain here. And then once his skill is ready, take this. Alright, now you should do fine. Just place your Chris altar here. The boss should pop up now. Okay, when this boss pops up, just activate your Cruise skill. Essentially, this is just basically a mini Exu right here. Look at the damage output that she can bring out. And the boss is dead. Simple. Okay, now one thing I want to point out is before we move on to 3-8, which is the boss for chapter 3. This stage I see some people struggling, mainly because there's gonna be a bombardier right here that throws bomb from all over the map, and there's gonna be a bunch of invisible casters and heavy tank enemies. So I kind of want to cover this stage along with 3-8 as well. So if I may, then hopefully this will help you out some way of a degree. Now, I forgot to mention, I got April from a temple. Okay, so from your daily login, on one of the days you'll get a free temple on the kernel hunting. You can just use it, or if you want to save it for selectable rate up, then by all means go ahead. But generally I won't recommend you pull on that banner under any circumstance unless you have those blue tickets, otherwise it's a waste. Now with that out of the way, I do want to point out a few things. Okay, Thorns here was from day 5 of the ticket. Okay, so I'm gonna just be including with day 5 a bit here. I'm not gonna include all the way until day 7, because on day 6 and 7 most of the stuff that we're gonna be doing is actually just gonna be doing event stages, getting more resource, and then progress on chapter 4 a bit later on. So we're gonna go by on a slower pace, but it is gonna be a safer way for everyone to progress. And of course, if you're a whale on a start, then you can just skip through this and just speedrun whatever you want. If you think you can clear the stages alone, then by all means go ahead. Now, as for other stages, same likewise, there's no need to worry about not picking support units, because the main reason you E2 Lapland is not only to make her stronger, but also allows you to get E2 supports. Now, this stage in particular, you will require a bunch of art damage to deal with the heavy defender enemies. So what I would recommend is, if you do decide to like just go ahead and borrow Wizardel for every single stage that you want, then yeah, there's no need for you to watch this guide, because Wizardel can literally just nuke everyone. But if you do want to auto deploy a stage, then of course you can go ahead and ask and what about the stage that you want to auto deploy. Maybe I can help you out on stream or whatever. But as for this stage in particular, you will need arts damage more so over physical, because you're gonna be needing a lot of those to deal with the heavy defender enemies. Now, Mountain and Lapland, these two should be enough to deal with the physical enemies. You just need to keep them alive. If you want extra arts damage, you can go ahead and borrow from whatever. So in this case, I have a Lapland altar here. I wouldn't normally want to borrow this unless absolutely necessary, but this is just for people that are struggling with the stage. Alright, now going to the stage, you have 5 roadblocks, and I'm gonna show you guys how to place them so you don't misplace them. You can save up some of the roadblocks just in case if you accidentally leak someone. Like, let's say they got past this point and then you don't have anyone to defend here. You can just put a block here, remove someone, and then just allow them to reroute. But we'll get to that later. Now, of course, like any other stage, you just make sure to have your vanguards ready. But if the dogs are already coming down here, you can just have your guard here. If you have Mountain, then you can just place him down. It's not going to be an issue since he costs very cheap. So you can just place him down. It'll be fine. Now, if your roadblock is ready, you can just place one of them here, and then place one more at the bottom right here, and that's it. Right side is covered. There's no need to worry about that anymore. Another thing is you're gonna need to put the 2 roadblocks here. That way it'll lock in on enemies that can only come from here, nowhere else. Now, if you want to, you can have Lapland, whatever caster is here, okay? Also for this side, if you have an E1 Malanta, it'll be better. I don't have an E1 Malanta, I believe. It's not E1, yeah, it's not E1. You can E1 her and just have her solo the right side. It's fine. She will deal with the bombardiers just fine without any help, without any healers. Although in the end, you might see her a bit low HP if you're not careful. But generally, she should be fine for the most part. There's only like 3 of them, I think. There's gonna be 1 more after this, I believe. Tough for newer players if they don't have support or if they don't have operators built. It goes both ways actually. If you have support, this stage will be a breeze. And the reason why I use support is, of course, again, there's no reason for you not to, because if the goal is to only clear the stage, then just go ahead and borrow an OP support and just clear the stage. And still, some people do still struggle even with support, so my guide is kind of like a backup for their own strat, I believe. Now, this one in particular, okay. For 3-8, Skull Shatter is stronger than the one in chapter 2, so make sure to not take her lightly. So you're gonna be focusing your guard, placing it here, and have like 2 healers over here. So in this case, I'm gonna use my own monster. It's on skill 3, but you can adjust. So you can use any skill that you want. Just go ahead and use whatever heal skill. So in this case, I'm gonna use skill 2. I'm just gonna use monster for the heals, not gonna be for damage. And you're gonna have 2 sides. You're gonna have a bunch of enemies swarming from the top, but bottom you just need Mountain to hold and have Lapland on the Lapland bottom, Mountain on the top. Okay, I'll go inside and show you what I mean. Okay, now coming into this stage, you're gonna need to have Lapland on this tile right here, and then have Mountain on top. You need to place the Lapland down first, and then you can have Mountain on top. Activate his skill once it's ready. You can forget about him. Now, at this stage, you can just place down your Amiya here to get extra damage done on Skull Shatter later. You're gonna need it. Now you can place your monster here and then put this right here. Be careful, it does target AoE if it's not blocked by Lapland here. So make sure you get another healer ready when you need it. Okay, now get another healer ready for Lapland here. Activate skill, put your cruise. And there we go, that's done. Now, simply place your April up here and you'll do fine. On the next video coming into this, there will be a bunch of upgrades coming up. I promise you there won't be any more delays because I had to like wait for a few days to gain my consecutive login back to get my Lapland, and I'm super sorry for my late uploads. I hope this regardless still help you out in one way or another. But as for day 5, make sure you have a certain amount of requirements, okay? So you need to have 2 snipers, at least Elite 1 level 50. That's a pre-requirement for me. And of course, go ahead and build extra stats on your guard. Like you can have your Malanta and you can have your Hibiscus, because we're gonna be using these 2 a lot for chapter 4. And also your Shaw, go ahead and upgrade her skill to at least level, I believe it's level 4, which will increase her push strength. You're gonna need this for chapter 4 as well, but it will only be for the stage bullying for Crown Slayer, which I believe most people will know by now. It is very infamous, but if you were capable of killing him, or sorry, if you're capable of killing her, go ahead and do so. I mean, people are just gonna borrow Wizardell and just blast everything, right? If you have a good supporter, just Wizardell it. Hence why the upcoming banner is very, very required, or not required but per se, but very, very recommended for people to pull on, which is the Exit Altar banner and the Lemuin. So yeah, those 2 in one banner. But for the other 6-star limited, you can get it also includes Wizardell and Virtuosa. Those 2 are very, very good units. But if you're lucky and got Wizardell from the banner, congratulations, you just beat the game, because Wizardell can literally kill anything. There's no one else come close to Wizardell, and if people ask you if Wizardell is still worth it, yes. In no way or another, any operator is coming close to Wizardell's own tier, okay? Her burst for physical damage is unmatched. Now, one might say CC has issues, but of course, it is contingency contract for a reason. And outside of CC, she's very dependable and she'll pretty much blast everything into dust. For the events that I'm gonna ask you guys to unlock, it's gonna be Heart of Surging Flames. This is gonna be one of them. It costs 0 sanity to play, and you'll get OP from it. It's definitely gonna be worth to do it. So for day 5, what I want new players to do is go ahead and experience the event themselves. There is a small pre-requirement of building your operators as you go. And for day 6, which is, I'm not gonna be uploading for another 2 days, because I will need time to go ahead and build a bunch of my operators that I need for chapter 4. But as you are doing so, go ahead and experience the events first. Go ahead and experience the new player events. Heart of Surging Flame is personally my recommendation because you use 0 sanity for the first part. And the other event is gonna be Granny event, which is not gonna be too bad for new players to experience. It is friendly for new players. And one more thing, before I finish this video off, I do want to mention there is one more event that I really want you guys to unlock. Let me find it. Where is, okay, Invitation to Wine. this event, I want you guys to unlock it just because to get Cruise Altar. Cruise Altar is basically Exuzii at home. Okay, you can treat her as a mini Exu, and it's simple to get her. Just clear 4 stages of this event and you'll be able to get her, and then just dip out of the event. Don't even touch it anymore. If you want to pot 6 her, you have to go through all the stages for the basic one without touching EX, and it's gonna be difficult. I wouldn't recommend anyone to go any further than 4 stages unless they are just gonna try and test their limits and just borrow OP support. Then yeah, go ahead. If you have a pot 6 cruise, that would be better, but for newer players that decides to take the chill route and not gonna go sweat and take it easy, just clear 4 stages up front and get Cruise Altar, dip out of the event. You're done. Because following getting Cruise Altar, the another welfare I would suggest is gonna be Lumen, but Stultifera Navis is very challenging. This event is very challenging. I wouldn't recommend anyone to go through as much. Although you don't need to go far to unlock Lumen, but still, the difficulty is still there. So before experiencing anything else, I only would recommend people unlock Invitation to Wine and Heart of Surging Flames, these 2. After a week reset, you can just go ahead and unlock Granny and the Nice Treasure, experience these 2, and then just go through how newer players back then played the events, and you'll see how much of a difference it is now. So yeah, those are my recommendations if you guys are like trying to find anything else for event unlockings. And let me know in the comments below if there's anything else I could help out on.